In today's video, we're going to talk about how to mini cut and what a mini cut is. If you're new to my channel, subscribe to the channel and like the video for more. If this found you well, I hope it did, and I hope this brings some value to you. I wrote about this on my Substack. You can check that out below if you're interested in reading. For more video person, then feel free to just watch the video. Not everyone's gonna have, significant goals. Not everyone's going to want to be, super muscular or super strong. I mean, that's just, everybody has their own taste. A mini cut is exactly what it sounds like. It's a mini cut where you do a state in which you are low in calories to reach a goal, and then you get back on the bandwagon of increasing your calories to put on muscle or gain weight. What happens is when you attempt to diet, it can slow your metabolism down to an extent. I mean, there's a lot of conflicting research on this topic, but from what I know and from what I've read is that it can slow things down. However, it can also have the opposite effect in terms of it can actually make you reduce the amount of inflammation in your body, specifically if you are eating a lot of sugar, or maybe you're just eating a lot of processed food. Then doing a mini cut can have a lot of benefits to kind of pre in a state that's a little bit healthier than if you are just trying to shove a bunch of food down your mouth, because that's not good either. Attempting to diet for a specific date for something like a wedding, which is common, a lot of people tend to do. They have a wedding in 3 months or 6 months, and they try to really go hardcore on their nutrition and their diet, and they try to reach that goal. One of the problems with that is that it's temporary. So the definition of a diet is it means a way of life. So you want to make your diet something that you can adopt as a way of life. So you don't want to just eat for the sake of, just because you have a goal. You want to eat for the sake of, because it's something that you should already be doing. That's a whole different conversation. So the way I used to tell clients is I would tell them to look at your training as a method of fatigue management. So we all have things in our life that is very fatiguing. There's things that you can do to already pre-fatigue your brain before you even do it. For example, the topic of weed, that can actually really fatigue your brain and actually can slow your thinking. That's a whole different conversation. But when it comes to work, for example, maybe you're fatigued from work, maybe you're fatigued from people. How can you deal with that stress? Well, you can get to working out and eating better. So that's kind of how I would sell to my clients, to stop looking at diet as just a one-stop shop and look at dieting as a way of life, right? You want to look at food and nutrition as tools to help you get ahead in your goals. Mini cut demands what's called a reinstitution of habits, which may mean reorganizing your way of thinking. Anybody can go on a diet and eat healthy for 3 weeks at a time or 5 weeks or what have you, but it really takes discipline and working at it one step at a time, one decision at a time throughout your day to reorganize your priorities, reprioritize your life and what's actually important to you. A couple of examples of how you can start that mini cup right now is drinking about 16 ounces of water when you wake up. Another thing that you can do is fasting. Fasting is a little bit controversial. There's kind of a conflicting research on that. But, try fasting. You get up at 7, you don't eat till 12. You eat from 12 to 4 p.m. and you fast from 4 to 8. Maybe then you have a nice little cheat meal, a nice kind of enduring meal, maybe like some yogurt or a little bit of ice cream from like 8 to 9 or 9 to 10. And then technically you're actually fasting from like 10 to like 12 the next day. So start with that. That's one method. Another way is to establish a meal plan, right? So you can write out what you're going to eat the next day. So that's something that I used to do, is I would have my notepad, this was years ago, and I would write down exactly what I would eat the night before. If you are a professional and you work a lot, or if you just work a lot in general, and you know that the next month is going to be really busy and you're not going to have time to eat as much food that's a really good opportunity to cut back on the food. Just take the time to focus on your work, or focus on whatever's going on in your life, and not so much on trying to get your food in. And sometimes you'll lose a lot more weight during that time versus any other time, because your mind is so focused on your work or whatever's going on in your life that you forget to eat. One of the downfalls of that, though, is that you forget to eat, and then you may actually end up losing too much weight. So it's a kind of a gentle balance. So those are the couple of things on how to mini cut, a couple of tips on how to approach it, and specifically with your nutrition and your diet. Diet is so important to help you advance your physique and advance your health, but also your mental, your mental state. So the main takeaway of today's video is the reconstitution of habits, reorganizing your way of thinking with nutrition. How do you reconstitute your habits? Is by starting with one habit a day. So drink water right when you wake up, and then maybe start some fasting. If you don't want to fast, maybe do, plan 2 meals a day, and then have 1 to 2 meals where it's unplanned, but you control the portion, you control the calorie intake, and do that over 4 to 6 weeks, and you should see a general change in your weight and in your physique. It's important to track your progress through the mirror. I strongly believe in the mirror over the weight, because sometimes the scale, it doesn't tell you much. It's probably you're still holding food from the night before. You're probably not digesting the food properly, hence why you're still holding the food, which goes on to my next point, which I talked about in another video, which if you burp a lot, that could be a telltale sign that you're actually not digesting fat properly. So if you notice you just ate a high fat meal and then you burp a ton, that could be a symptom that you're not digesting the fats properly. And that goes down to maybe you don't have the right amount of enzymes in your stomach or your mouth to help to break down those fats. So I hope that this video found you well. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like the video and leave a comment below so I can say hello. And if you would like a consultation, you can book that below, and I will gladly help you with that. Or if you would like a custom program, you can go ahead and email me below or message me on my Instagrammer, and I'll see you in the next video.